playing a little bit short-handed. Megan Abrams still out with a hurt hamstring. And we are underway. South Carolina, that's Kiara Fletcher, the transfer from Georgia Tech. Don Staley's team, very, very deep. And right off the bat, Cook, who is having a breakout year. And get it into Boston. Cook takes a little bit of contact, missed everything. And here's Barber, the one who hit the game-winning shot to beat Arkansas. Third game in 7 days for the Tide. South Carolina has been off for an entire week since they beat Arkansas. Barber took steps. Starting lineup for Alabama. Sarah Ashley Barker in there, started at Georgia and now back in Tuscaloosa, where her father won a national championship as a starting quarterback. Jay, back in the 90s, before your time.
The 90s were my time, Pam. I don't know what you're talking about.
Early 90s.
But Christy Curry talking about Sarah Ashley Barker and just how much she loves this kid, her toughness, what she brings to this team. Needs a little bit more from her in terms of offense, taking her shots when they're available.
Aliyah Boston, that is just South Carolina in a nutshell.
It really is. This is going to be the challenge. This is the challenge for every team in the country when you play South Carolina. They are such a good offensive rebounding team. It's often not the first shot, it's the second and third opportunities.
First in the nation in rebounding margin among many other categories for South Carolina. An Alabama team that loves to shoot the three, and this is their star, and she just proved it, Brittany Davis.
She finds a way to get buckets.
She's 8 20-point games this year, picking up a lot of the slack. Again, with Abrams out. How patient was Boston on that? Didn't get it to go, but a second opportunity. Cook makes him pay.
There's one person you have to find on the three-point line for South Carolina. It's Zia Cook. She is shooting it at a high clip. She's playing confident basketball. Got to know where she is.
Hit 4 out of 5 threes in their last game a week ago against Arkansas. And there's the score for Aliyah Nye, the Illinois transfer.
Certainly looking forward to this ball game. She did say, though, if we get to the Super Bowl, I need a black jersey.
Yes. So you're on alert, Philadelphia Eagles.
But Christy Curry talked about it. We have to be physical on the glass. We've got to limit their second and third opportunities.
Aliyah Nye has just picked up her second personal foul. Team already with a concern in the post. Saxton completes the three-point play. Megan Abrams out with a hamstring for another couple of weeks at least, according to Coach Curry. Barber. Curry wants her to shoot more. Picked up her dribble in the paint. Royal McQueen.
And you just see how suffocating this defense is, and no rotation, but just one-on-one coverage. But that was an even better offensive play by Jada Rice.
At NC State, where she earned her undergraduate degree. And you see Cook with the good elevation that rolled off the rim. Zia Cook having a career year, offensive-wise. Davis guarded out there by one of the best defenders in the country, right, Bree Hall?
One of the best, most underrated players on any team.
National Defensive Player of the Year watch list. And we've already talked about Christy Curry, remarkably already in her 10th year here after 7 years at Texas Tech, another 7 at Purdue, your alma mater.
That's right.
After you played there.
Took Purdue to a Final Four in 2001. That loss to Notre Dame. That was Ruth Riley, Neil Ivey.
That's right. That was that epic Final Four.
It was.
Notre Dame had to come from way back at halftime to beat UConn and then beat Purdue in a thrilling final. Tara Fletcher. Shot clock into single digits. Here's Boston. Just turned around, shot it, made it.
When you think about the evolution of Aliyah Boston's game.
And add to her value in the WNBA. Royal McQueen, Georgia Tech transfer, like Fletcher on the other side with the miss.
Alabama, a team with 7 returners and 5 transfers.
Here's Fletcher. Rim out. Now a chance for Davis in the open court. She's an exciting player. Challenge the defense. Wow, that's something you got to hit.
Yeah, those missed opportunities, you can't afford those when you're playing a team like South Carolina. You've got to be able to finish the open ones.
Boston decided not to shoot from out there. Reveal. Nope. Now a 2-on-air. And Davis finishes.
Brittany Davis is just so aggressive.
Here it's Fletcher. A little bit too strong. About 8 of South Carolina's 10 points, coming off second chance opportunities. That's their offensive rebounding dominance.
And it really is tough when you play a team like South Carolina. You want to force them into tough, contested shots, but then the extra possessions, your margin of error is so slim, but they just dominate with those extra possessions.
And that's almost automatic, right, when Boston gets the ball in that position. McQueen challenging Boston. Barker. And that's, again, what you mentioned. Steve Curry wants to see Barker be more aggressive. The power forward spot for Alabama, so roles have changed.
Roles have changed, and, the players that she was surrounded with at Georgia, that's what they needed from her, that three-point shooting. Christy Curry said, we need her to be able to score at all three levels and be aggressive at the rim.
Cook from the outside.
So pretty.
And Raven Johnson is in. Cardozo, who's been on fire, is in. And Raven Johnson, who has been battling some injuries her first couple of years, men's college basketball coming your way tomorrow. And we'll probably have more assists, right, if Cardozo finished. That's what Dawn said.
Yes.
Raven's little deal. Cardozo, they're buddies, they're roommates.
They give each other a hard time, as you could tell by that comment.
Officials, by the way, Bree Hall, Natasha Kamey, and Eric Koch coming to you this afternoon from Tuscaloosa. Alabama has missed 8 of its last 10 shots with a couple of turnovers.
But that's that pace. You got to play at a pace. You can't play all fast. You've got to make sure that you're reading the defense.
Gosh, missed them both. Carly Weathers, number 22, in for Alabama off the bench. Curry trying to keep her players as fresh as possible. Alabama so far with more rebounds. Cardozo didn't agree with that foul call.
Well, Loyal McQueen getting to the rim. They could have called it on that outside arm. I like how Alabama is attacking South Carolina in the paint, really forcing them, putting them under duress.
Averaged a double-double in her last 5 games. Gets the rebound off that miss. Cardozo using her length to corral the pass. And me here. In. Yep, but no finish. Cardozo at 6'7". Junior from Brazil, who actually was able to go home over the summer. And Coach Staley thought it really helped her. Got to reconnect with family and had an opportunity to miss basketball and wanted to come back and get back into it. Davis over Cardozo.
That's the shot Christy Curry was talking about when she was talking to us pregame. I need Brittany Davis to be able to hit that mid-range pull-up. She's showing right away. She's aggressive to the rim early, getting to the foul line, getting some layups, and now she shows that second level.
Just a 2-point game. And we here right into the teeth of the defense as the shot clock was expiring. And that was the quarter shot expiring, and Alabama's only down 2.
Well, Alabama really doing a good job of executing their game plan.
South Carolina's only been out-rebounded once this year. It was against Stanford, that tremendous comeback when they beat Stanford in overtime, the closest they've come to losing this season. Baseline jumper cupped out for Cunningham. And me here attacking the rim and cleaning up. Now Davis. Slowed up a little bit. Barker off the mark. Good hustle by Davis. And then Loyal McQueen, gosh, another miss.
That's 4 empty possessions for Alabama. and you have a point-blank layup, and you have a couple of wide-open shots, you got to be able to make those because South Carolina makes you pay on the other end.
Davis left open.
Brittany Davis is everywhere.
Yeah.
She was on the floor after a loose ball. She's chasing down her own offensive rebound.
Just a really special player. Barker, you got to love that.
Yeah, no
Coach
question.
White.
No question.
Olivia Miles and number 7 Notre Dame in Raleigh to take on Diamond Johnson and NC State. Raven Johnson backs things up, leading this team in assists, even though she comes off the bench. Cardoso got fouled. 2, and she picks up her 3rd, so probably won't see her until the second half. Cardoso at the line. So far in the second quarter, the teams are a combined 2 of 14 from the floor. 1 out of 2 on that trip. McQueen looked up and saw Canola and said, I'm going to back up. McQueen.
Give it back. It's a mismatch.
Yeah, she had the mismatch underneath with Rice.
You know, you don't have many opportunities where you have mismatches inside. Jada Rice made the right play kicking it back out and then get it back. Really needing the guards needing to recognize that.
Cook, guarded by Barber, flips one up. And the offensive putback. Nicely done by the freshman Ashlyn Watkins.
Pursuing the offensive glass. And Ashlyn Watkins does such a good job of getting in there and snagging that rebound.
And one of the freshmen that Coach Staley says is really starting to get things together. And there's Barker from deep. Cook. Too strong. Another offensive board. And second chance points. Bree Hall.
It's like a broken record, but the reality is you give them a second chance, they're going to make it. They're going to make the shot. They're going to make you pay.
Barker going to challenge Cardoso and win.
This is a team that needs everyone on the floor to be able to take shots and make shots.
Cardoso fouled again. Cardoso back at the free throw line. Able to go home to Brazil during the off season. 1 out of 2 again. And here comes Brittany Davis. The challenge. Cardoso got a hand on that.
This is good defense by Camila Cardoso. Just stays down, stays disciplined, uses the outstretched hand.
Had 3 blocks and a career-high 16 rebounds in their last game a week ago against Arkansas, did Cardoso, who now sits on the bench for Boston, who almost induced a turnover. A lot of length out there on Barker.
Oh, great shot fake. Got to finish those.
Wow, Davis, great work. Raven Johnson, terrific move to evade the defender and got it home.
I love Raven Johnson's game. You know, you think about a season ago and her injury.
And then a moving screen.
So Zia Cook could slide through, and that gets Rice the foul. So important when you have the ball in your hands to be able to set it up and use the screen. Keep your post out of foul trouble. Those are unnecessary fouls.
Boston closed down. Johnson, perfect. Lead ballooning to 10 with this second quarter drought.
That's the play they ran at the end of the game against Arkansas to get that 3. Barber not able to get it off. Raven Johnson right on her hip.
And Barber looked over at Davis and said, shoot it, because the shot clock was winding down. And Davis hit the 3. Shot clock off. Zia Cook with the ball in her hands. Just the second 3 made by Alabama, a team that has relied on the long ball all season long.
Ashley Barker and Brittany Davis are low to their scoring. They've got to find a way to get multiple players involved.
Those two players combining for 21 of their 26 to yet another double-double. Already broke Sheila Foster's record for most double-doubles in South Carolina history. That happened last week against Arkansas. And Nye, who'd been saddled with foul trouble, only played 4.5 minutes in the first half, got a 3.
And I like that execution coming right out of halftime, understanding what they want to get Aliyah Nye a shot, get her involved in this ball game.
Just the third 3 made by this Alabama team, one of the best in the nation, averaging 9 per game. That's in the top 10. Ball wouldn't fall. Here's Brittany Davis. Grad guard from Manchester, Georgia. And Aliyah Boston will have none of that. Barker, 8 of her 10 points coming in that second quarter. Saxton stuck her hand in there. So much depth for this South Carolina team. Barker challenging Saxton. Gave it up. Rice was wide open and nailed it.
You see the confidence that Christy Curry has in Sarah Ashley Barker right there. A one-on-one opportunity, puts everybody else out at basically half court and makes the right decision.
Saxton left open. Added that mid-range jumper as her career has gone on, but has not been known for her offensive prowess. That is terrific. You just mentioned Barker. And there you see the afternoon so far for Sarah Ashley. 4 of 5 from the floor, leading everybody on both squads with 12 points, but Boston just tied her with that bucket. And that time, Boston won.
I mean, Boston's running down the middle of the floor. You can't see her in our frame, but she had her eye on it. That's great hustle.
Absolutely, running the length of the floor. 24 seconds to shoot. Barbara looking for somebody. And it bounces out of bounds. Hall left open, gets it over to Beal. And Hall dials it up.
Bree Hall coming into this game only 3 of 13 from the 3 in conference play, but we know she has the ability to knock down shots. She hit a big 3 in their win against Stanford. You know, she's a player who makes timely buckets.
Her second 3 in 3 attempts this afternoon. In a 4-point game, all of a sudden back up to 9. And the foul is Loyal McQueen. New show, the premiere episode tomorrow at 9 Eastern. Talking about the one and only Pat Summitt. So check it out. The lead is 7 now for South Carolina. McQueen got both of her free throws. Boston didn't catch it cleanly, got it out to the perimeter. Reposts and finishes with her offhand.
With no Megan Abrams on the floor, the ability with Loyal McQueen really struggling offensively, got to find ways to get other players involved.
And McQueen missed another shot from the floor.
And you get 19 points off the bench. You get multiple rebounds off the bench. The production as the double team comes in the zone, and Aliyah Boston just splits it and finds her.
Hall with the miss, another chance, and a terrific pass. South Carolina another rebound, a one-handed rebound by Beal.
Great pass.
Nice. Hall.
And that's Raven Johnson again coming in, impacting the ball game. Eyes up in transition. Finds Bree Hall running the floor. Christy Curry needs a timeout.
And you see the season comparison from last year. All of the numbers are better. Out-rebounding teams by almost 23 per game. And finally, the drought ends. Nye hits the 3.
She comes in, she stretches the floor, knocks down a shot. Terrific hustle play. She's got 4 fouls, so her inability to be on the floor because of foul trouble has really hurt Alabama.
Yeah, the team already with a very slim bench. Boston continuing to work. Double-double, her 6th in a row. 74th of her career. Now 12 behind Sylvia Fowles for the all-time SEC record, and Syl has been classy, as we might expect, tweeting about that. Quarter winding down. Davis! Boy, Brittany Davis got off to such a good start.
I like it when they put Brittany Davis in the middle screen and roll. Her decision-making is very good. She understands when to get to the rim, how to get her open teammates the basketball.
Barber hasn't scored yet until right now. When she hit that shot against Arkansas in their last game with 8 seconds left, that eventually won it, ultimately won it. She was still calm, cool, and collected.
Breakdown right there defensively, out of bounds. Krista Curry talked about that. I want to do something different out of bounds. I want to keep them off balance, but right there, just a miscommunication.
Bree Hall's had a good game. South Carolina got it back. Speaking again about that, the depth and the quality of the bench. Dawn Staley talking constantly over there on the sidelines.
She's a point guard. That's what they do. Communication.
There's another foul. Down to Oxford for Kentucky and Ole Miss. Both games on ESPN and the app.
Yeah, that Virginia team, Dawn Staley, Wendy Palmer, Tammy Reese, the Burge twins, they were pretty good.
Debbie Ryan, their head coach. Gino Oriema was an assistant there before he went to UConn. Yeah, they were fantastic, and it's great to see that program coming back up, getting resurrected. Staley's alma mater. Still yapping. Cross court. Raven Johnson just a little bit too strong, but yet another offensive rebound. Coach has him reset. Clock into single digits. There you go. That's just a killer, right?
It is, and you never know who it's going to be.
Nye underneath. And you hear had it taken away. You look at this second team for South Carolina, and they would be starting in a lot of schools in the country, wouldn't they?
Absolutely.
And they'd be really good.
And you got to give Dawn Staley and her staff a lot of credit because of that and what we're seeing in the transfer portal right now, to continue to challenge them, to continue to develop them, and give these players a lot of credit to be ready when your number's called.
Connecticut coming up in a week, and then a week after that, LSU. And she said that the players hold each other accountable, that they don't look ahead. They're looking out for each other and the task ahead of them.
I mean, we've talked about Aliyah Boston's numbers being down. Well, Aliyah Boston is only playing 24 minutes a ball game, right? So you're going National Player of the Year, and we keep our team ready to make a push for another national championship.
And Boston is fine with that. And it's scary, 24 minutes a game and almost averaging a double-double. There's Cardoso finally getting some nice touch on a shot. And still, South Carolina looks well on their way. And Brittany Davis gets her first points of the second half. Has a couple of degrees, going for her master's. That's a good look. Johnson into a knee here.
So good, South Carolina is at seeing the diagonals.
And there you see them. Missouri trying to play their way in. Loyal McQueen finally gets a shot to fall. But South Carolina's strength of schedule discernibly better, especially non-conference, than LSU. So this could be a huge test.
No question. No question. And, our halftime crew had a great conversation about strength of schedule. When you think about LSU, South Carolina.
As I mentioned earlier, not just a team that relies primarily on defense, more of a well-rounded club and a ridiculous bench. Shot clock winding down. Hall, what a game! building on her career high in points.
She had struggled from the three-point line coming into this ball game and has 4 threes here today. But Christy Curry told us before the game, like, look, we're going to battle, we're going to play hard, we're going to compete. And, you know, we've got to find a way to take care of the things that we can control. You know, make sure that we win the games we're supposed to.
Bree Hall with 13 points in the second half alone. Cardozo thought she had another block. So Rice now at the free throw line. The NC State transfer, and there's that schedule we were talking about. They did lose to Missouri at home earlier this season.
But again, so much of this game is being able to stay locked in no matter what, being able to execute no matter what. Alabama's been a team that's been able to do that for the most part. South Carolina has been the most dominant team in the game.
Another offensive rebound for Aliyah Boston. Another double-double, also very efficient to say the least. Aliyah 8 of 10 from the floor this afternoon, and South Carolina is going to get on that charter without Wi-Fi, not watch the NFC Championship game, but they're going to go home with another win, and there is Beal's first points, and the bench explodes. Beal, maybe the best perimeter defender in the country, at the three. Sarah Ashley Barker with a nice offensive game, particularly in the first half when they kept it close, but just too much of the best team in the country. With that Barker bucket, at least they went over 50 points. And there you see Dawn Staley.